Hey, how we doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good, doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good.
You get a new helmet in the background?
Yeah, I mean it's not new, but I mean I got it for Christmas. It's Team 91 South.
That's fire.
Yeah. I saw the new ISE helmets.
Yes, sir. I got it right here.
Oh yeah, those things are sick.
We got to get you one, bro.
I know. I just don't know how to play I don't know how to get on ISE.
Well, what we do is we do online applications. So we tend to look at like a bunch of different players' highlight tapes. But one of the cool things about our program is it's not all about just like what you can produce on the field. Like we really take it to heart when we say inspire success early. Like we want to see kids
Yeah.
who are doing things bigger than the game. And I think what you're doing here is like a perfect representation of that. So I'd be
Thank
happy to
you.
have you with our 31s and
Yeah.
lefty too. So
Yeah.
we could use some lefties on the squad.
Yeah. All right. I'll see. All right. It's
All right,
awesome. All right. Well, I'll introduce you and then we can get into it. I'm pumped.
let's do it.
All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Lax Locker Room. Today we've got a super interesting guest. He's played Division 1 college lacrosse, represents Uganda internationally, and is building a brand that is majorly impacting the growth of the sport. Let's welcome Yosef. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So for people that don't know you, who can you give us like a short introduction, like where you're from and how you first got into the sport?
Yeah, for sure. So I grew up in Decatur, Georgia. It's right east of Atlanta. I started playing lacrosse when I was 6 years old because I was dragged to my sister's lacrosse practices. Coach Rigger, he was a coach for the rec program there. He gave me a stick, and he was like, "Man, you play football?" I was like, "Yeah." And he
Yeah.
said, "You can hit kids with this stick and get away with
Yeah.
it." And I was like, "Oh, bet! Like this is
Yeah.
football. It's fun. I can use my speed. And it takes a lot of skill. Like it's not just about like athleticism. I was always
Yeah.
fast. I was always faster than like the kids around me, and it could do juke moves. But lacrosse added an aspect of skill that was really demanding that I enjoyed. So
Yeah.
that's what kind of got me into the game, and I fell in love with it ever since.
Yeah, and football and lacrosse, I feel like are always like one of the closest sports. I think it's like football and hockey and basketball. Those are kind of the sports that go kind of hand in hand. What other sports did you play growing up besides lacrosse?
I played a bunch. I ran track and field in high school.
Mm,
I was all state in track and field. I
that's
played
awesome.
football, and then I did mixed martial arts. So those were my other sports. I did
Yeah,
wrestling a little bit before I did
yeah,
arts, but I got a little bit too tall. They do weight classes there, and it's like,
yeah.
yeah, if you wrestling like little meatballs, and
I know.
I couldn't do
It's
it.
tough. It's tough. Wrestling is always one of those sports where it's like, I don't understand. It's just like you go out on the mat and you're just competing, but it's never been like my kind of thing. I don't know.
Tiring.
Yeah.
It's definitely like not what you'd expect if unless you do it and then you're like, dang, like that 2 minutes or 1 minute, like you're
Yeah.
exhausted after because
I
you
know,
know
but
it's like not trying to
yeah.
lose.
Yeah, but people say like the wrestling practice is like what gets you good. Like not
Mm.
even in the sport of wrestling, like the conditioning and strength work, like it's really good.
Yeah, it's
Um, so I know you've had a unique college journey. What's been the biggest challenge?
I'd say the biggest challenge was when they shut down our program at Lindenwood.
Mm,
My ACL was also a very massive challenge,
yeah,
mentally but I was able to kind of overcome that. I think what the with Lindenwood it was difficult because I had helped recruit a lot of players there. I'd really established a good relationship with the coaches there and to
yeah,
see not only our program get cut, but 8 other sports get cut at the same time. I mean, you had coaches getting fired that same day. Like a lot of people were just like really suffering.
yeah,
But those challenges end up becoming like the things that carry you forward. And for the team that remained there, like we became super close, and we kind of went into every
yeah,
knowing that we had half the roster every other team
yeah,
and so we knew like the outcomes of the games were kind of decided beforehand, and it puts you in a position where like your back's against the wall. And we had like 1 or 2 goal games against Robert Morris, Mercer,
yeah,
Cleveland State, LIU. Like we were in games even with like having 26 guys on the roster. So
yeah,
it was a ton of fun to just play with absolutely nothing to lose. And
yeah,
so it went from being like a big challenge to like kind
A
of,
blessing.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely a blessing. It's my most fun season for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. How did you stay motivated through injuries or transfers?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. I would say my motivations changed a lot. So when
Mm.
I was growing up, everyone kind of doubted me, whether it was because, I was an African American player or I was from, a non-hotbed area. And I had a lot of coaches and teammates who doubted me. And I kind of used that doubt as fuel. Like I was always like,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
prove you wrong. Like I'm gonna show you, and that kind of drove me to who I was, and I became obsessed with my ability on the field, to the point where at Mercer, that's all I cared about was lacrosse. Like I enjoyed. Like Mercer had so many cool things about the school. Like campus
Yeah.
was sick. Like academics were amazing. As soon as the lacrosse program wasn't what I expected, I was like, all right, I'm out of here. Like these people
Yeah.
don't take lacrosse serious enough, and like I want to be at like um, a like program that's going to take me seriously as a player and like actually
Right.
develop me.
Right.
But my motivations changed, kind of going throughout that process, especially when I tore my ACL and going throughout playing for Uganda, because I wanted to play for something. I got to see people playing for something bigger than themselves, and I wanted to play for something bigger than myself.
Yeah.
So my ego had to kind of take a step back and fall apart and die so that I could be motivated, by something bigger than myself. And that's when I
That's awesome.
found my faith in Christ, and that kind of motivated me throughout.
Yeah. What was the team that you transferred to after Mercer?
Lindenwood.
Lindenwood? That's awesome. That's cool. How long were you there? Are you still, yeah.
I was there for 2 years at Mercer and then 2 years at Lindenwood. And
That's
then
awesome.
the final year at Rollins
That's
down.
awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is called the Lax Locker Room. Do you have any like crazy or funny locker room stories you can share?
I do. So like my freshman year at Mercer, when I was first starting TikTok, I accidentally left my TikTok live going the entire time at a practice in the
Oh my gosh.
and I didn't know until I came back, and like all the guys were like, "Dang, bro, you're on live in the locker room," and I didn't even know. So that was funny. But luckily, nothing was out. It was on. It was like in my shoebox. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. Um, what's the hardest moment in your lacrosse career so far?
the hardest moment in my lacrosse career, like I said, was probably when they shut down the program. But I'd say the the yeah, I'd say that's probably the hardest moment, in my lacrosse career. I'd say even right now is difficult not being in a like structured college environment and still preparing for the world championships. It's a new challenge.
Yeah,
So I'd say
absolutely.
that's something that's, also like something people don't think about is preparing for the world championships.
Yeah.
Having
You're playing for Uganda, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. That's
Yeah,
gonna be so cool playing in the Olympics, right? 20.
yeah, in
Yeah.
2028, hopefully we're
That's
hoping to be
yeah. It's gonna
representation for Africa.
That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I'm pumped to watch it. And I remember when I don't know, I think I was just on Instagram and Paul Rabel just like leaked something, and I was just like in shock. I was like, there's no way, especially because it was I don't know. I think it was a few years back when they announced it was gonna be a thing, and I was like just in shock because lacrosse is just such a small sport. So just the fact that it's gonna be in the Olympics is just like it's so cool. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
It says a lot
Um,
about like what World Lacrosse has done to grow the sport in all these different countries.
yeah,
Japan, how good they are, Ireland, Canada, and just
yeah.
it's kind of expanded. So I'm pumped too. And
Yeah,
look at these winter sports. I'm like, we kind of cooler than some of these sports.
I know for sure. Like, I mean,
No
I don't know even so I don't even know half of some of these winter sports. It's just kind of the most random things
no
ever.
disrespect, but
Yeah,
lacrosse we belong to. So
yeah.
I agree.
Um, what does trust the process actually mean as an athlete?
So trust the process, as an athlete is basically understanding that what you're going through is going to get you to an outcome, and if you're putting in the work, the what you put in is what you're going to get out. So everything that you do is going to have like an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're grinding and you're putting in extra work and you're preparing as a team, then you can expect good results on the field. And if you're not, if you're not trusting that process, then you can't expect it to pay you back when you get out there and try to perform.
Right, absolutely. And do you like as the director of ISE, like how do you implement that phrase into how ISE like actually runs?
Yeah. So with ISE, it's been such a rapid amount of growth over the
Yeah, for
past
sure.
year. So for us, it's a lot of trusting each other. We're a small knit team, and we're trying to build something that the lacrosse world's never really seen before. An extremely marketable team that's very media centric, built around philanthropy. And so we have a vision of taking a club program and making it something that is really an incubator for young men to become better people and become servant leaders. And we trust that if we follow a process of making sure we're responding to parents, making sure we're getting to the right events, making sure we're hiring the right coaches and right people,
Yeah.
that the community around us is going to gradually grow, and we're going to build something that's going to last, hopefully even long after I'm done coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of switching gears, how did you first get connected with Uganda lacrosse?
Yeah, so my dad was born and raised in Uganda. He came over to the United States when he was around 14 years old, and Uganda just so happened to be the first African nation with lacrosse. So they went to the World Championships in 2014. I was 12, and so I kind of heard about it, and I'd been playing lacrosse for like 6 years by then. I was like, wow, like
Yeah.
all the countries, it's like my country.
Yeah.
I bet like I'm gonna one day play for them. And so then when I turned 16, they went to the World Championships in Israel, and I actually really wanted to go, but my mom didn't let me. She thought I was too young.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
I thought I was ready to go.
Yeah.
And so then um, then from there, just connecting with the coaches, emailing and DMing and figuring out how to get connected. And then once I was, committed to Mercer and there, and we were just preparing for the U21 World Championships after that. And then once I got on the squad, I was on the squad, and it's been a blessing ever since.
That's awesome. What does it feel like representing a whole country? I mean, that's like it's just kind of a cool fact. Like you play on this team with 60 players or however many players, and you're representing an entire country. So what does it feel like to do that?
Yeah, it's exhilarating, it's humbling, and it brings a lot of pride, especially when you're surrounded with players who really grew up in a village. Like I think it's different for the Uganda national team compared to a lot of other teams because I think the way that they treat the game and respect the game and how far it's taken them, like they're in love with lacrosse.
Yeah.
They're in love with what it's done for them, and so just wanting to not only represent Uganda, but also represent the continent of Africa and show that we're not just people who just picked up a stick. Like they actually know what they're doing. They can move the
Yeah.
ball, we can swing the rod, we can score on any country. And so I'm really pumped up to represent the country and doing that not only in how I play on the field, but how I am off the field, and even in how I carry myself. You always have to keep
Yeah.
in mind when you're a national team player that you're representing Uganda or whatever country you represent.
Yeah, Uganda's bringing the fire. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah, just wait for
Um,
the sixes. We got that.
yeah. What's lacrosse like internationally versus the US?
So internationally, I would say the culture's a lot different. It depends on how you mean. So if we're talking about on-field product, like the world
Yeah.
rules are much different. Like there's no shot clock. The face-off is knee down still. Like the
Mm.
rules are a bit finicky. I actually prefer college rules, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
um the sixes I think will be awesome because that really
Yeah.
levels the playing field. You're always pushing the ball up. As soon as you get scored on, pick it up, let's go back, and you get an opportunity to go against a shorty. So I think that's going to be great for the game of international lacrosse. I can't wait to play more sixes. Um, and then I'll just say from my personal experience, the world lacrosse community is very welcoming. It's very diverse. Like it's really awesome to connect with the Haudenosaunee, the Team Ireland, Team Hong Kong, China,
Yeah.
Israel, Japan, etc. Like we all have that communal feeling of that we're all in this together to grow the game. And so I think it's really cool that it's a lot less stressful and less like oh like it's like you're not really like rivals or talking crap
Yeah.
to each other. It's not like that. It's like everyone's there just playing their hardest out of
Mhm.
love for the sport.
Yeah.
I think if more people played like that in the US, then we'd be even greater.
Yeah, and I feel like just, getting to play in sixes is just fun. Like,
Hmm.
it really is just you're just nonstop going back and forth.
Yeah.
That it's just, I'm pretty sure I think I saw something on Instagram, like maybe during the Christmas that ISE did like the sixes or something.
We
Um,
haven't yet, but we may do
yeah.
one next
Okay.
fall.
So it was someone, but they did like a sixes challenge, which is cool.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Do you have like a craziest or coolest experience playing internationally?
Mm. I would say after I tore my ACL, um, I was able to get back up and go on the field for a man up play. I didn't know my ACL was torn at the time.
Oh,
I thought my kneecap popped out because that's what it
uh-huh.
feels like. It's a weird
Yeah.
feeling. And so I went back in the game and I just shot it with everything I had. And my foot was facing that way, my knee was facing that way. I didn't
Oh,
see the goal go in, but I like stung the corner. It's my favorite
mm,
goal ever. And
that's
I was just
awesome.
on the ground and I was like, did it go in? They're like, yeah, it
Yeah.
went in. I was like, all right, I'm done. Like I could just
Yeah,
knew my knee was messed up. So but that was probably one of my favorite memories is just like
that's awesome.
getting to go
I'm sure
out.
that was disgusting though. Just looking at that, like picturing it, like it's, I don't know. It's like Tyreek Hill that one time when he absolutely like that was disgusting.
Yeah,
Um, I
it's
couldn't
not
look.
pretty, I'll say, but
No, yeah. Do you think lacrosse can become a major global sport one day?
absolutely. I think lacrosse can and will, but I think it's up to our community to push it forward. I think lacrosse holds itself back in the sense of we're very self-deprecating towards each other sometimes. I think that's
Yeah,
like in like the culture is sometimes we tear each other down, like clubs will tear each other down or kids
yeah,
will tear each other down in comment sections or people will tear down like the PLL or other players for trying to put themselves out there. When in reality, we have to stick together because if you think about it, other sports already somewhat look down upon lacrosse or they don't consider us like one of theirs. Like they don't consider us peers with basketball or with hockey,
yeah,
football. And how are we supposed to eventually reach that mark if we also don't consider ourselves peers? So
yeah,
it's a matter of less glorifying maybe athletes that play football and play lacrosse. It's like, yo, like we play lacrosse. Like that's
yeah.
coolest.
It's the same thing. It's
So
same thing or maybe even cooler.
exactly. And so it's like it's just a matter of pushing ourselves forward. And it's also just quite frankly reducing the barriers to entry. So the expenses to play lacrosse. It's three
Yeah,
to $4,000 to play club ball at most teams. Plus the helmet, the gear,
yeah,
travel. Like it's not something that every family can afford. I think if some of the if prices were to go down and those barriers were to be lifted open, or some of the more affluent members of the community were to give back to the next generation, then lacrosse
yeah.
would explode.
Yeah, it would give way more opportunities too, like to the point where, like we said about it being very expensive. Like, I think going to tournaments and then people just think about like the entry to the tournament, but like you said, traveling and then hotels and then
Yeah.
also being on the team, like you're gonna want the gear too, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like ISC, if you're
Mhm.
gonna play on ISC, you got to get all the gear. It's sick. It really is sick.
Much
Um,
appreciated.
yeah. So, I think if, like you said, if more things can go down and be a little bit more cheaper, then it'll open up more opportunities.
Absolutely. That's one of the things we try to do at ISC is we actually don't charge per season. We charge per tournament. So whatever the family can afford, like let's say you can afford to go to one tournament, just pick that one
Yeah.
tournament, go for that one weekend. and then we'll take you for that. So that's what
Yeah.
one way I try to kind of give back to that next generation, put
Mm.
myself in our players' shoes is, hey, whatever you can afford to go to, attend,
Yeah.
and we'll take care of you from there. And then kind of we hope on the back end, then you can help push out, more and raise more money for Headstrong on
Yeah.
whatever money you have extra or whatever you can spread the word to your friends and family.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that you're the director and owner of IC. For people that like don't know, can you explain a little about what ISE is?
100%. So ISE actually started as a fun off-season program by some high school
Yeah.
players called Ice Spice Elite.
Yep.
They were copying a trend in the basketball scene, which is on the called Rod Wave Elite, which is another YouTuber called Cam Wilder. He started a high school program with some kids in the basketball scene and named it after a rapper, and it went extremely viral. And they kind of copied that same gimmick, and then they reached out to me to be the coach because I was the influencer that kind of
Yeah.
Wilder. And so it all kind of was a perfect combination. I saw the virality in it. And I decided, I'm going to give these guys a chance. This is everything I'm all about in the sense of I think lacrosse is just as marketable as a basketball as long as you market it in the right way. Um,
Yeah.
and we can be, and I think a lot of people don't see the funny side of the athletes that we have and kind of the personalities behind club tournaments, the hooting and hollering on the sidelines, and just adding some more, fun to the game rather than taking everything so serious. And so we went to that tournament. We had a blast. I flew out a flamingo suit. We
Oh yeah, I saw that.
kids were wearing visors. Like we did kind of all the bells and whistles. And it goes extremely viral. Ends up being the most viral lacrosse vlog of all time, covering a club program. And then um, the following year, a couple of seniors on the team actually wrote their college essay based on the impact it had on their community. And then I wanted to make sure that everything we do, underneath Athlete Classroom, which I'll touch on later, is
Yeah.
connected to philanthropy. And so a couple of players on the program had a direct connection to breast cancer. They either had family members or friends with breast cancer, and we were already wearing pink uniforms. So we decided to dedicate the entire program to raising money and awareness for breast cancer.
Yeah.
And while doing so, we decided, hey, look, we can't be named Ice Spice Elite and also be raising money for breast
Yeah.
cancer because that would take away. So we decided to take that name and rebrand it to Inspire Success Early, which is really our mission: is inspiring kids to be better and be successful at a young age.
That's awesome. That's so good. That's such a cool story too.
Yeah.
Um, so also for other people that may not know, what is like athlete classroom too?
Yeah, so Athlete Classroom was originally just made for someone like me, an athlete who didn't know the impact of what athletics can have on his life outside of just playing on the field. Um,
Yeah.
so Athlete Classroom now is a platform for me to basically teach and also platform other young athletes around the country. Right now, it's specifically lacrosse, on how to leverage their status as an athlete to make an impact on the world around them.
Yeah.
So whether that be through philanthropy, through coaching, through making videos, I always try to just
Yeah.
lend the athletes around me a hand and also just be an example for young athletes wherever I can be. And then also our programs also representing that mission of just being a platform for making change. And it's really cool to see what ISC and a lot of the players have done from
Yeah.
to make impact on the world around them.
For sure. And kind of going back, one video that I always laugh about is or for what kind of makes lacrosse fun is that one video of Brickwall Mason being mic'd up.
Mm-hmm.
That video is so funny. He just does like he does a great job just, with the whole thing.
Yeah,
Um,
it's hilarious.
yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say he's like that without the mics on too. I mic'd
Really?
him because he was funny, not the other way around. I think
Okay.
a lot of kids think it's like, oh, he's just saying that for the mic. Like, nah, like
Yeah.
he's like that 24/7. He's always cracking jokes. And
Yeah.
so it's been really cool to been able to kind of platform him. He's one of those athletes that blew up, probably the most famous youth lacrosse player of all time.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool to see. And so, and you guys aren't too far removed. He's only 1 year older than you.
Yeah. He always has that one saying. It's like skadoosh, I think. Skadoosh. Yeah, so that's really cool. What has been your favorite part about running ISE?
Ooh, favorite part about running ISC. I would say seeing what the kids are doing after have those experiences with them. So seeing the parents' responses talking about how my kid is so much more confident after playing with you guys. We've seen players make camps. We have the Goggins twins out in Texas. They made a camp for kids with Down syndrome, and they had them at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and they had over 50 players with Down syndrome, and they were teaching them how to play lacrosse and running this camp on their own. And we had another player, Tristan Rosenshine, who ran a camp to raise money for his Headstrong page. We've had players pick up cameras and build videography careers. Keelan, Archie. I could go
Yeah,
on and on with multiple different players who have kind of built platforms on their own. Maverick Flock, he just went viral, got a million views on Instagram and TikTok, making different videos with his lacrosse stick and
yeah,
them with the Seahawks, and just seeing their confidence go through the roof, and being enabled to do that. And I think that's something that didn't exist as much as it should have in the
yeah.
lacrosse space. And I want to be, the coach I wish I had that enabled kids to be kids and have their personality shine through.
Yeah, and absolutely. And kind of going off that, the videography that y'all do is just so good. Like I always go to the ISC page and look at the Love Me, the George Caldroni edit. It's so good. It's so good. And then
Yeah,
just like all the other stuff too. Like I don't know whoever does that for y'all, but it's so good. It's so good.
yeah,
And then like your YouTube, like all your videos, they're so good. Like the way you film them, it just makes it like so fun to like watch,
I,
like from an audience, and it's very entertaining.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's so good. So I just want to say that personally.
That means a
Um, what motivated you to turn ISE into a lacrosse foundation to raise money for cancer?
It was really the players and the families and the impact. So when we first got started, we raised around $5,000 or $6,000 at that first tournament in Orlando, and then we went from 5 or 6 thousand to 50,000 going into Vail.
Yeah,
And just seeing how many cancer patients we were impacting, even having cancer patients within our own program, so family members that we were able to give grants to. It's just something that really touched my heart and touched the hearts of the people around us, and became a no brainer. And knowing that we could make impact on the world, just using lacrosse and using our platform as athletes is something that really resonated with me and my values, and the values we have at athlete classroom. So it was
yeah.
just like kind of ordained, and everything happens for a reason. So you decided to just take that and continue to grow and steward it the right way.
Yeah, and it's cool that like ISE is just like it seems like one of the most fun lacrosse teams to play for, and the fact that you're doing it for a good cause too,
Yeah.
it goes hand in hand.
Uh,
Um, what has been the coolest part about coaching top players of their class like George Caldroni?
the coolest part about coaching them is knowing that I've been coaching them since they were like little kids. So
Yeah,
for George, like I've seen George since he was 11, or 11 or 12, and he was like frying kids at at camps,
yeah,
and just being able to see him grow up and mature. I think coaching kids like James Whitehorse, who like I had
yeah,
to coach before, was awesome because just like I've seen their highlights, I've seen them play or film them, and just knowing that they could represent something bigger than themselves before they go to college, and knowing how much of an impact that they're going to have. From my perspective, it's like, look, I was a random player from Decatur, Georgia, who made it to Mercer, and from there I was able to have this small impact on the lacrosse community. What could a George Caldroni do when he gets to Princeton? What could James
yeah,
do when he gets to Virginia? And I could go on and on about the different names. We got a lot of different names already there. Johnny Kalman, for one, at Canisius, he's making content. I could just, yeah, I could list off like other alumni that are
yeah,
making impacts on their college, and knowing that I'm at least giving them a platform to learn from, and be better than what I
yeah.
was or what our generation of influencers is, so that they can continuously grow the game and kind of have a ripple effect throughout.
Absolutely, 100%. What are some of your favorite tournaments that ISE attends?
The favorite ones are going to be the ones we got this summer. So we got Richmond Rumble that's coming up. I'm gonna need.
Okay.
We got Adrenaline Invitational that's in
Wait,
Delaware.
hold on. Is the Richmond Rumble in Richmond?
Yep, yep.
Oh,
Are you
dude.
going?
I want to now that I think about it.
Okay, bet. We got two. So we got Seaside Showdown that'll be in
Okay.
Virginia Beach, and we got Adrenaline Summer Invitational, which will be in Delaware, and then we got the Platinum Cup, which is also in Delaware.
Oh, yeah, Platinum Cup. I've played in that. That's a fun tournament. I like playing in that.
It
Yeah.
will so
It's cool.
for all those, and then but the key classic one is the OG Orlando Open.
Yeah.
Last every year we go. It's nice and hot down there in down
Yeah.
in Florida, so I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a fun. I've never been, but I know Nationals LC go and Brennan Stewart, which is some kid that lives like right near me. He played on them, and he said it's just a blast.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's cool. How did you like decide on the IC colors? They are absolutely sick, and I just want to know like where you kind of decided on the colors.
So I didn't decide on the OG colors. It was that pink
Okay.
and yellow swirl was
Yeah.
came up with that. The kids came up with that from IMG Academy. But ever since then, we kept it kind of
Yeah.
as a homage to the OG squad and just representing breast cancer awareness. We gotta go with pink. Plus, like I mean, it don't get much cooler than it.
No, I mean it's sick. It's so cool. It honestly is so cool. Um, I don't know. It's just I think they for my colors in club lacrosse that just the ISC uniform it might be my favorite.
Oh,
Uh,
get that.
yeah, it, it it's just sweet. I mean I don't know. Um, More than lacrosse, what do you want ISC to be known for?
I want it to be known for impact. So I want it to be known for obviously our cause. How many cancer patients can we impact? How many lives can we improve, save, provide for? And then also leadership. So our slogan is listen, learn, improve, lead. So I really preach listening to other people around you, so that you can learn from them, improve yourself, and then lead others. Um,
Yeah.
and I often say, you got to take a lot of L's on your way to leadership. And there's a lot of steps before you get to being a leader. And I think every player, when they come for our program, whether it be for a weekend or a summer, we want them to leave being leaders and being better leaders in their community, and be inspired to go make impact around them. So whether that be raising money for their own causes or being better leaders on their own club teams and
Yeah.
standing up for themselves, and carrying things out and taking lacrosse seriously. That's kind of the goal, is having that impact on kids
Yeah.
is our
And
would be awesome.
that's awesome. Where do you see ISC heading in the next 4 to 5 years?
In the next 4 to 5 years, one of
Yeah.
the goals we want to do is, have events where we get other teams involved so that they can be raising money for cancer too. So
Oh,
tournaments, maybe a sixth event, like I mentioned,
yeah.
having, keynote sponsors. So whether that be, an ECD or an
Yeah.
STX, a Warrior, a Signature, being a sponsor that helps us, give back to the communities, provide sticks. Another thing would be implementing a girls program and making sure
Okay.
we can have a women's side of ISC, and so that they can also be raising money for the cause. And then from there, just expanding and growing from a media reach standpoint and proving the marketability of lacrosse. So being kind of a proof of concept that lacrosse is something that people can enjoy watching and can see the fun behind it, and can reach a wider audience outside of just people who play it.
Yeah. And the only thing about the girls' side is that's bad is they don't get the sick helmet. That's the only thing. They don't get
Goalie
it.
does. The goalie
Huh? The
does.
goalie does. Yeah. Um, when did you decide to start content creating?
I started making content when I was like 17. And the reason I decided was because I was going into college knowing that I was going to be a marketing major. And I knew that social media marketing was the future of the world. And so I thought that if I built a brand around myself, it'd be a good resume for when I graduated for Coca-Cola or Frito-Lay. I didn't
Yeah.
know anything about, NIL or, you know, any of those aspects. I never anticipated of being like a lacrosse influencer. Uh,
Yeah.
but as I continued to create content and as things like NIL got introduced, and I built up more of a platform in the community, I realized that if I was going to create for anything, it would be to give back to lacrosse. And so that's kind of what kept me going and still keeps me going today.
Absolutely. Um, so if you could collaborate with anyone, who would it be?
Ooh, if I could collaborate with anyone, it would be destroying. I think he's an
Okay.
excellent content creator in the football scene. I look
Yeah.
up to kind of the content he creates, and I want to replicate what he does in football to lacrosse. So destroying would be a dope content creator.
That'd be sweet. So as a creator, what are some cool things you get to do with the PLL or some of the players with the PLL from the PLL?
I think the coolest part about lacrosse is knowing how tight knit the community is and how close you are to PLL players. So the coolest part is just having PLL players as our coaches. So we're having a camp down in April in Texas, where we'll have Miles Jones. We're looking to have Colin Kirst. We might even have Kieran McCardle, or we're talking
Yeah.
to different PLL players. Getting them directly involved in my program. And having them coaching, and obviously Miles is now a director with ISE, and he's on staff. So just having PLL players that I watched growing up and look up to now, being able to pour back into the kids I coach,
Yeah.
that's by far the coolest thing as far as working with the PLL.
Yeah. And I think it was like a few days ago. Colin Kirsch works for Lax.com, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure because he I think he did something with the helmets because he was
Good.
yeah because I was watching and he had something to do with the helmet and I was like, hold on, since when did they have helmets?
Yep.
And yeah, it was sick. And then it just started to spread. I put it on my story. I was like, dude, these helmets are fire. Yeah, so that's cool. So there are very few top lacrosse creators these days. What is your favorite part about working with them?
I would say I would say being able to share ideas and platform especially the young creators like Johnny Kalman. He was still in high school when he was creating content, and I invited him to come play for ISE. He ends up popping off for a viral video, and seeing him go continue to ball out D1 at Canisius,
Yeah,
and inviting them to come coach. We're probably gonna have Conrad come coach for us, and just having them be able to be around the program and give back. I would say though, for lacrosse to grow, I think the content creator community should collaborate more. I don't think we
yeah,
collaborate nearly enough. I think all of us are doing our own thing way too much, or trying to compete in a certain sense.
okay,
And, I think it would do a lot better if we were to do more collaborations.
yeah, absolutely. And there's some big like who are the big ones that come to mind? For me, it's Mitchell Pelkey,
Mm.
Miles Dubois, Only Varo, you, Rhett Cannon is coming up there.
Yep.
Um, who are some other like it's Lax Guy Scotty.
Lax guy Scotty, he's the man. He coached
Yeah.
us.
This is like all I got.
Yep.
There's just not nearly enough. I mean, like the ECD team, but really that's their own brand. It's not really like
Mhm.
that when I think that's like the big six or whatever.
Mhm.
So I think more kids need to get into it, and
Mhm.
that'll help lacrosse overall expand. Um, why should athletes build a brand and not just play?
Yeah, so in today's day and age, NIL is out there. So NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. That's all about your brand. And whether you're being a content creator or not, every athlete has a brand. A brand is what others think about you and what you present yourself to the people you meet, or the businesses you meet. So athletes are always building a brand when they're getting themselves recruited to these colleges and institutions.
Yeah,
You're building valuable brand if those colleges and institutions are providing you with thousands, $10,000 scholarships, etc. And so as you continue to grow throughout college and try to build a platform online that will allow you to work with a multitude of different companies that are essentially internships for when you are done in your playing days to be able to have marketing experience that not a lot of other college students would have. So it gives you a leg up among other people. And it also allows you to have a bigger impact in your community. So if I didn't have the brand that I had, I wouldn't be able to raise the money that I have for Uganda or for the
Yeah.
Strong Foundation. And so it's not for everyone, building a brand online.
Yeah.
But how you carry yourself and how you represent yourself online is critical. And I think every athlete should at least be cognizant of how others view them, especially coaches and family members and institutions.
Absolutely. And kind of going off that, how can middle school or high school athletes start building their brand today?
Yeah, I think first off is just setting up your social medias, making sure that your name is under your account. Um,
Yeah.
like for me, I have all my accounts under, Yosef and Ngowe,
Yeah.
and making sure that you are presenting yourself the right way. So obviously, you don't want to have any, drugs or alcohol or anything like that on your account. You don't want to be having, distasteful music if you can avoid it. And if you're an athlete, you want to put up highlight tapes. I can say by far we recruit a lot of players based off of their highlight tapes on their Instagram. And we're like, okay, that kid's a baller. Like he's got these
Yeah.
out there, and whether it's the mom's phone recording it or you got like a videographer for your program.
Yeah.
So another thing is looking out for other videographers who are out there at these tournaments. If you can build rapport with them and ensure that they're at your game and can get you a clip, just even having respectful conversations can go a long way, and can take you pretty far.
Yeah, absolutely. And going off of that too, um, this is like kind of a topic that people are always talking about. Can social media actually help you get recruited?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you got to think about it. If you're at a tournament and
Yeah.
there's, 80 coaches there and there's 20 fields, like there's a small percent chance that the coach you want to see you is going to see you. But if you get, a clip with 50,000 views, there's a good chance that there's over 20 coaches that viewed that clip.
Yeah.
And I can say with certainty that highlight tapes like on YouTube, that's
Yeah.
coaches need to watch and to see your game. So YouTube is social media. Getting your highlights out there is critical, and the more views it has, the more reach it has online, the more likely it is that you're going to be scouted by somebody who knows somebody who can get you to the place you want to be.
Right. Absolutely. What's the biggest mistake athletes make online?
The biggest mistake athletes make online, I'd say, is disparaging others. So if you're online and you're making negative comments about other players or other programs, it's a very bad look. And I think that's one of the things to watch out for as an athlete is you could be in these comment sections not knowing who else is there watching. And
Right.
everything today is public. Even what you like, what you repost, it's all public. And coaches are gonna, if they're gonna give you a $50,000 scholarship, they're gonna take 2-3 minutes to look through your social media and see what you're representing and what you're okay representing online. So just making sure that you're being smart and treating every action you take as if it was public.
Yeah, and especially just like knowing like a college coach might be watching.
Mhm.
Uh, now that I think about it, I haven't done anything bad. I just post ice bath videos and these podcast videos. Um,
Chilling.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's now got to start thinking about it because I'm going to be a freshman next year, or no, 2 years, and then it'll really start mattering. So,
Yeah.
it seems like growing the sport of lacrosse is very important to you. I feel the same way, which is why I started this podcast. Can you share a little bit about why growing the game is so important to you?
100%. So for me personally, lacrosse saved my life. There was a point in time where I was, very, very depressed, and I didn't really have much hope in my future. And lacrosse was something that pulled me through. I loved it so much that that it was really my motivator to get up every day and to become a better person.
Yeah.
It's given me so many opportunities and it's brought me closer and closer to Christ, and I think that there's nothing more important than that. And so I just think giving that chance to other kids, and making sure that players in Uganda, where I'm from, get the opportunity to play a sport that's changed so many lives is crucial. Is
Yeah.
for me.
More than lacrosse, for sure. Um, how can young players, especially like me, help grow the sport?
I think doing exactly what you're doing, man, putting yourselves out there without worrying
Yeah.
about what other people think about you, going and just getting creative. A podcast is awesome. I've always wanted to start a podcast.
Thank you.
I
Thank
commend
you.
you for doing that.
Yeah.
You're already out there being creative, and this is like a massive. You might not see it now, but it's a massive resume builder for you going into high school, going into college. You'll be saying,
Yeah.
I've been podcasting for 8, 9 years before you're
Yeah.
a junior or senior in college. You can say that going into your job interviews, going into even your recruiting.
Yeah.
It's something unique that stands out. I think another aspect is just giving equipment to the next group. It's already hard enough sport as it is, so being able to donate old stuff, maybe your old
Yeah.
health helmet, your old youth helmet, a stick here or there, a head here or there, back to a new player, goes
Yeah.
a long way, because that stick, that head, that helmet could be a spark that lets them play lacrosse for the next 15, 20 years. I think those little things just go a ton.
Absolutely. And like where I'm from in Richmond, it's like not a hotbed for lacrosse. Like if
Mhm.
you go to my high school, I'm going to be playing with varsity and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, and so one of the things that I've been doing is like this yesterday at practice, this kid had like a fiddle stick. So I was
Mhm.
like, I told him I was gonna bring him a real lacrosse stick and he could practice with it. And then, I could see like maybe if you would want to buy it or, for a lot cheaper than what an actual stick is.
Yep.
Because, lacrosse gear is expensive and if I can help get more people into the sport, then that's what we need, especially at my high school. Because obviously there's a lot of kids like that are just getting into the sport. Like a lot of the drills and stuff is passing and catching.
Yep.
So getting more kids exposed is like what we want,
Yeah.
especially with gear that is able to be practiced better than a fiddlestick.
Yeah.
That's just good. Um, so if I interview you again in 5 years, what do you hope has happened with your career and with the sport of lacrosse?
Well, I would be hoping that you're a 4 or 5 star recruit and I'm coaching you and we're going to Orlando open. You're mic'd up.
Let's
That's
go.
first off.
Let's go.
I would hope that, we're able to get the Uganda men's national team to the Olympics and compete, get our first international win over another nation at the World Championships. And I would hope that I've helped raise, let's say, $250,000 for philanthropic causes. That would be
That's awesome.
that would be a huge goal to knock off. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, now we're gonna do rapid fire, which is just like a quick question, quick answer. It's
Yep.
yeah, I like doing it. Um, favorite lacrosse player ever?
Miles Jones,
Okay. Watching PLL or college?
college,
Black or white cleats?
black,
Okay, so drippy for sure. Yeah. Showcases or tournaments?
showcases, 1,000% showcase.
Okay. Energy drinks or coffee?
Coffee, but I did drink hella energy drinks in college.
Okay. I mean, it's the thing. It's the thing. Um, what is the best lacrosse drip brand?
Goose it.
Goose. Oh, okay, yeah. Favorite pregame song?
Mmm. Mmm. Let me pull one up that's clean.
Okay.
Meng Dakiwe by DJ Obza.
Okay. Okay. I have to listen to that. I have to listen to that. On the way to Richmond Rumble with the IC.
Bet.
Um, One drill every kid should do daily.
Uh, Catch and split wall ball. So
Wobble. Okay.
split wall ball.
Dream place to play lacrosse.
Mm, Mercedes-Benz Stadium,
Oh, okay. Favorite social media platform.
Instagram.
Okay. Go to pregame meal.
Peanut butter and banana.
Okay. If you weren't playing lacrosse, what sport?
Track and field.
Okay. If you could be on any PLL team, which one would it be?
Redwoods.
Redwoods. And then lastly, your go-to karaoke song.
Tennessee whiskey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Who's that by? Let me think.
Stapleton, right?
Yeah, Chris Stapleton.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
that
yeah,
one's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, that's all I've got. Thank you so much for coming on. I had a blast talking
Absolutely.
with you.
Yes, sir.
Maybe I'll be an IC. I got to figure out like how to get onto it. That's just the only part.
Well, I'll shoot you over the invite. Go over it with your parents, and then hopefully we can get you set up.
Absolutely. Love to go to Richmond Rumble. It'd be just sick, just, getting to do that.
Yes,
But
sir.
thank you so much. I'd love to keep in touch.
Yeah,
But thank you so much. Have a good night.
I got you, my guy. Have a good
All
one.
right. See ya. You have a good